What's the most innocent favor you've done that completely backfired? I was just trying to be a good uncle, but apparently that's how you end up in handcuffs. My sister Maria called me that Tuesday morning while I was still in bed after working a night shift at the hospital. Her voice sounded panicked, and she was talking so fast I could barely understand her. She had some emergency medical procedure and needed me to pick up her daughter Emma from school. I hadn't seen my niece in like 6 months because I lived across town and work had been crazy. Maria texted me the details before her phone died. Emma Johnson, Mrs. Patterson's class, purple backpack. I dragged myself out of bed and drove to the elementary school at dismissal time. The place was absolute chaos with hundreds of kids in those navy blue uniforms running everywhere. I walked into the office trying to look confident, even though I felt like I was about to pass out from exhaustion. "I'm here to pick up Emma Johnson," I told the secretary who was juggling 3 phone calls and barely looked up at me. She typed something into her computer and buzzed a classroom. A few minutes later, this little blonde girl with a purple backpack walked into the office. She seemed kind of shy, but followed me when I said her mom sent me to get her. The car ride was pretty quiet at first. My niece gave me these short answers when I tried to make conversation, so I figured she was just tired after school. I remembered Maria saying something about promising Emma ice cream if she was good, so I stopped at McDonald's. My niece perked up immediately and started chatting about her art project while eating her cone. We got to Maria's house and I used the spare key under the fake rock to let us in. The house was empty since Maria was still at the hospital. I made my niece a snack and helped her with her math homework. She was actually pretty sweet once she warmed up to me. We worked on multiplication tables for a while, and then she wanted to show me her drawings. 3 hours passed and everything seemed fine until my niece looked at me with these confused eyes and said, "When are we going to my house?" My stomach dropped. "This is your house, sweetie." She shook her head. "No, it's not. I live on a different street with the big tree in front." That's when everything went sideways. I tried calling Maria, but her phone was still dead. The kid started crying. I was trying to calm her down when I heard cars screeching outside. I looked through the window and saw police cars everywhere with officers pointing weapons at the house. "Come out with your hands up!" someone shouted through a megaphone. The little girl ran to the door screaming, "She took me! She took me!" The officers rushed in and threw me on the ground. My face pressed against Maria's carpet while they cuffed my hands behind my back. The neighbors were all outside watching from their porches. I tried explaining, but the cops kept telling me to save it for the detectives. The interrogation room at the police station smelled like old coffee and despair. 2 detectives grilled me for hours while I sat there in those metal handcuffs. They kept asking why I took the child and where I was planning to go. I told them over and over about Maria's call and the school pickup, but they weren't buying it. The detective with the mustache rolled his eyes and called the school, but of course the office was closed. The principal wasn't answering her phone, and the secretary had gone home for the day. They kept showing me security footage of me taking Emma Johnson, but there was no way to tell which one until morning. Then the door flew open, and Maria burst in still wearing her hospital gown with those paper booties on her feet. She was screaming at the top of her lungs about how there were 2 Emma Johnsons at the school. "Check the rosters. There's Emma Johnson in Mrs. Patterson's class, and Emma Johnson in Mrs. Peterson's class. They're both blonde and the same height, and they both have purple backpacks." The detectives looked at each other like she was crazy too, but then this couple walked in behind her looking completely confused. They had a little blonde girl with them who looked exactly like the one I'd picked up. The woman was holding her daughter's hand and said they got a call to come to the station for their daughter. "Oh my God!" Maria screamed. "That's the other Emma Johnson." The substitute mixed up Patterson and Peterson when she called the classroom. The other parents' faces went from confused to horrified as they realized their daughter had been at the police station this whole time because of a mix-up. The substitute secretary rushed in right behind them, holding my actual niece with both class rosters on her phone, sobbing about how sorry she was. The detectives stared at those matching names and finally uncuffed me. As we walked out, the wrong Emma waved and shouted, "See you next week, Aunt Julie," while my actual niece still won't talk to me because the other girl got the better adventure.